Thank you, Natalie, and hello, everybody. I'm gonna have a little preemptive fight with this microphone. All right. So good to be together with you all. I just feel so filled up and so warm and happy to be with you all, to be like with our people together at a movement event that is about building power together. I'd like to really welcome you all and thank you for being part of this. We want to begin by respectfully acknowledging that we are on the unceded and stolen lands of the Spokane people, or Spokanee, and other interior Salish peoples who have stewarded this land since time immemorial. We offer our respect to elders, both past and present. The point of our land acknowledgement is to inspire and commit ourselves to take action to support Indigenous communities. We commit to intentionally addressing the outcomes of the doctrine of discovery, the truth about the people who are already here, who were targeted by genocide and forced removal by the United States government, military, and settlers. We honor and lift up Indigenous people who continue to resist the impacts of ongoing colonization and to sustain their culture, language, and people. And we know it is insufficient to simply acknowledge the people whose land we occupy. We commit to centering and supporting the voices, leadership, solutions, people, new microphone please, in our communities and around the world. My goal is that everyone here will take at least one specific action to enact our shared values. We encourage you to give financial support to Indigenous-led organizations here in the land of the interior Salish peoples, and we call on each other to integrate the essential voices of Indigenous people in our lives all year long. Our words are only as meaningful as our actions. As you know, our theme today is grounded by our roots, we grow. In our Peace and Justice Action League community, we know everyday people can accomplish extraordinary things together. We've been doing it for almost 50 years. I want to thank the extraordinary everyday people who lead PJALS as members of our steering committee. Those are, and will you wave or stand as I say your name? I want to thank co-chairs Ayaka Dohi and Sally Winkle. Our steering committee secretary, Heather Wallace, and vice secretary, Gian Mitchell. Wonderful members, Nagmana Ahmed Shirazi and Yasi Naragi. And fantastic new members, Puyan Lam and Chad Kuntz. Right there. Thank you so much for how you lead and for being willing to lead. And on a personal point, I want to take a moment to thank my mom, who is here, over there. She has been a source of endless support and love, and I love you, Mom. So in our Peace and Justice Action League community and in our movement, we are organizing in multiple ongoing crises of structural and ideological white supremacy, of violent and political far-right, authoritarian and white nationalist organizing, poverty, class exploitation, climate crisis, US imperialism, and more. We face a tremendous resource differential when we take on the criminal legal system, the fueling of white nationalism by politicians and the powerful and prosperous, the political and cultural structures of militarism and imperialism. Locally, nationally, and transnationally, certain politicians and the powerful and prosperous exploit racist rhetoric to turn working people against each other, while they rig government and the economy for themselves. Then they point the finger for our hard times at poor families, Black people, new immigrants, and Muslims. The wealthy get richer, the rest of us get poorer, and the power of government is turned against Black, Indigenous, and communities of color here and around the world, such as the US-funded genocide against Palestinians in Gaza and the widening and escalating Israeli war now targeting Lebanon. Spokane County is contested territory, and in that we reflect global dynamics. We're in struggle over who belongs, who is worthy, who's seen as a threat, and who deserves to be safe. And just under the surface, we know that's all about race, class, and imperialism, topics we are conditioned to be silent about. But together, we are rejecting messages of racism, American supremacy, fear, and division from the prosperous and powerful to join together with people from all walks of life so that we can ensure all our communities get good housing and better schools, not more barbed wire, and more jobs, not more jail cells. And I don't just mean our communities bounded by colonizer-bound borders. I mean we are coming together to shout and sing that all people hold inherent worth. We're all part of this web of life. We all need our planet, and we all need each other to be free. So we're coming together for collective liberation. And as the song says, no one is getting left behind this time. Or as the chant says, forward together, not one step back. Forward together, forward together. So grounded by our roots, we grow. Our roots are in opposing war and imperialism. Our roots are in studying and learning together. Our roots are in economic justice. Our roots are in human rights. Our roots are in doing the right thing, the thing that aligns with our values, even when it's not the easy thing. Our roots are in grappling with hard questions, like what do we do with the privilege that we hold as white people, as Americans, as men, as cisgender people, as temporarily able-bodied people, as people with financial resources? What do we do with our privileges to dismantle these systems? And how do we build cross-class, cross-race, all-gender movement? So right now, we are coming up on the 1-year anniversary of the Hamas attack on Israel and on the anniversary of the beginning of the US-funded Israeli retaliation, onslaught, and genocide on Gaza, now widening to include Lebanon more and more. And this 1-year anniversary comes after decades of US-funded and US-protected occupation, violence, and apartheid. Right now, we're facing an election where we must hold the complexity and contradictions of the imperative of defeating American fascism and the imperative of opposing American imperialism. This election season is exposing fault lines in the foundational origin myths of this country and fault lines in the moderate progressive alliance that we sometimes take for granted at our peril. I agree with you agreeing with me about that, yes. So grounded by our roots and located in this present moment, how do we grow? Our roots and our growth show when we work together to identify shared goals, develop strategies, mobilize through collective direct action to educate and pressure policymakers, as we say, to see the light or feel the heat, to win policy change and to shift power. Grounded by our roots and with our collective eye on how we grow, our 4 priorities this year are countering American imperialism and militarism through marches, demonstrations, and vigils, through education, through organizing messages to and meetings with staff of our senators and even our representative, and through our determined and focused Peace and Justice Action Committee. Countering white nationalism and American fascism by building an informed, active, explicitly anti-racist culture within our base and the greater Spokane region through our BOLD program, by training peacekeepers in nonviolent de-escalation, through education about the far right, and by working with partners to keep our communities safe in this volatile election season. ending mass incarceration and systemic racism in our city-county carceral system, as we did through our role in last year's victorious coalition campaign to defeat massive jail expansion, and through ongoing work for police accountability. You can clap, yeah. We beat that together. And finally, grassroots leadership development through our Peace and Justice Action Conference coming up in the spring, through webinar series on militarism and other topics, and through our Young Activist Leaders program, where we support young leaders to learn the nuts and bolts of organizing and take action together. Our roots and our growth show as we build a cross-racial, intergenerational, all-gender, rural-urban, bottom-up movement centered on the leadership of impacted people. And our roots and our growth show when, as Marge Piercy wrote, we do it again after they said no. When we say we, and we know who we mean, and each day we mean one more. So I want to share with you some changes in our PJALS staff team. This month we said goodbye to 2 people who have been important members of our staff team, as youth organizer Ellis Bennis graduated high school and launches off into the world via the University of Washington. And as our fantastic community organizer, Union Carter, moved to stupid Seattle, but is working as a union organizer now. That's how I feel about that. I don't like when organizers move away. And I'd like to introduce you to 2 new members of our team. Our operations coordinator, James Hires, who's been with us just 3 weeks. And on just day 3 in this role, our new community organizer, Chantel Jackson. And I'd like to thank our really fantastic staff team who've been working so hard to make this event happen. Digital organizer Bex Matthews, where are they? There's some, behind, yeah, working. And in particular, I want to thank our really fantastic development director, Shar Lichty, who's been working night and day. And now I'm very excited to introduce our keynote speaker, Spokane City Council member, Lily Navarrete. Our community is very lucky that Lily Navarrete and her family immigrated to Spokane from Mexico City in 1988. She graduated from Ferris High School and obtained a BA in International Affairs from Eastern Washington University with minors in economics and business administration. Lily currently represents District 2 on the Spokane City Council. Advocacy is central to her career. She was the Director of Public Affairs and Rais at Planned Parenthood of Greater Washington and North Idaho for 8 years, where she fought for reproductive rights, immigrants, and marginalized communities. She was the Vice President of the Hispanic Business Professional Association and was appointed by Governor Inslee as a Commissioner on Hispanic Affairs in 2020. Lily has been an active member of the Spokane Immigrant Rights Coalition and the Washington Immigrant Solidarity Network. She played an instrumental role in the passing of the Reproductive Healthcare Access for All Act and worked tirelessly to combat racial profiling in Spokane. In addition, she previously served as a commissioner for the Office of Police Ombuds for District 2. And in addition to representing District 2 on City Council now, she also works as the Community Health Equity Organizer for WSU's Elson S. Floyd College of Medicine and is the chair of Health Equity for Nuestros Raíces. Lily speaks from her heart as well as her mind and puts her whole self in motion for the well-being and thriving of our whole community with a focus on immigrant rights and health. She's also an absolute delight, very funny, and one of the warmest people you'll have the joy of meeting. Lily has not only been part of our PJALS community for several years as a community partner, but also as a friend, a supporter, and a donating member. And I think she's a real badass. So please join me. And that's the sound of when a badass is about to take the stage, things crash. It's great. Please join me in welcoming Spokane City Council member Lily Navarrete.